Hi, welcome to Yoga with Aislinn. I'm Aislinn, and today's class is an afternoon pick-me-up. So you might want to grab one or two blocks if you have them, but that's not essential. And if you know your chest or your shoulders are feeling a little tight today, you could also grab a strap or something like a strap. We're going to start in child's pose. So let's start with the knees wide. So take your knees wide, big toes together, sit back onto your heels. And for today, let's reach the arms overhead and rest your forehead down on the floor. And you can always put something under your forehead if that works better for you. And just take a moment and just plop. Let yourself land here, no effort. So I don't know about you, but I know in the afternoons for me, I'm I'm very much prone to fatigue after about 2 p.m. So today's practice is designed to be relatively accessible, nothing too crazy or complicated, but some movements with the breath, some front body opening, some twisting, just moves that I know in my practice really help me to kind of wake up when I'm feeling a little bit fatigued or sleepy. Now start to deepen your breath. And see if you can imagine the breath moving into your lower back. Breathe into your bottom back ribs, into the kidney band. And begin to shift into Ujjayi breath, in and out through your nose. Narrowing your vocal cords, making your breath smooth and long and even. With your next inhale, lift your nose just an inch, but keep your head in between your arms. Walk your hands as far to the right as you can, and really try to stretch through your left palm especially. See if you can get it even farther away from you than your right one. Press into the heel of your hand, and then even think of pulling your right hand back and pushing your left palm away, and just kind of notice what that does to the side body. Inhale. Exhale, change sides. Walk your hands as far to the left as you can. And really emphasize the right arm reaching. Try to get it farther away than the left. Feel like you're scrubbing your left palm back towards your face and you're trying to slide the floor away from you under your right hand. Breathe into your right waist. And exhale, walk your hands through center. Come right up onto all fours. And then step your feet back one at a time into plank, making sure that your hands are shoulders width apart, index fingers parallel. Push into every knuckle of every finger. Lengthen tailbone to heels, crown of the head forth. Take a breath in. And exhale, head back to downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Good. Feel free to take a couple moments here to bike the legs out. Maybe shake your head no and yes. With your next inhale, shift forwards into plank. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. And then leading with your top thighs, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then from the crown of the head, lift your heels. Inhale, shift forwards, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, inhale, rock forwards into plank. This time, option to drop your knees. Exhale, bend your elbows straight back. Try to go slowly, lower all the way down onto your belly. And then point your feet back one at a time. Try to grow your legs another inch. Press into your pinky toenails especially. And inhale, roll your chest open, shoulder heads back, baby cobra. Look down at your cheeks. Exhale, lengthen forwards to come down. Again, inhale, roll your chest up, baby cobra, maybe a little taller. Exhale, come forwards to roll down. One more time, inhale, traction your hands back and out. Exhale, lower. Bring your feet and legs all the way together. Reach your arms back. You can hook your thumbs or interlace your hands, or if you need to, grab that strap. And then next inhale, shoulder heads back, lift your head and chest up. Try your best to straighten your arms, pull your knuckles up and back, and then lift your straight legs up. Spread your toes. Roll your inner thighs higher than your outer thighs. And then could you lengthen the sides of your neck? Do you need to straighten your knees? One more breath. Exhale, release. Come all the way down. Plant your hands next to your chest. Curl your toes under. Inhale. Exhale, maybe use the knees. Push yourself up into plank. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And just a couple breaths here in your down dog. Notice what shifts, what feels different each time we come back to this very familiar shape. The cool thing about yoga, right? I mean, so many cool things. Clearly, I love yoga. But, I think one really awesome thing is that your practice can meet you wherever you are. Sometimes you want to do a lot of really intense poses. You want to like work into some deep back bends, do some handstands. Some days you just need restorative or just shavasana. Some days you just need small, simple, easy movements to kind of get you back in your body. This practice isn't one size fits all, but it really is there to do whatever it needs to for you. It's very adaptable. Next inhale, look at your hands, lift your heels, bend your knees. Feel free to either step or hop, feet to hands. Inhale, lengthen forwards, shoulder heads back. Exhale, generous bend in the knees and fold. One more time, inhale, lengthen forwards. This time, either hook your thumbs the other way or interlace your hands, other thumb on top, maybe grab your strap. With your exhale, keep your knees bent as much as you need to and fold. Feet should be hips width and parallel or even a little bit wider. Feel free to shake your head no and yes. Really actively pull your knuckles away from your upper back. Notice if the weight is even from front to back, side to side in your feet. And next inhale, let your hands go, come up halfway. This time, exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, stand all the way up. And lower your arms, exhale. Take an inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, offer your chest. Exhale, step your right foot back, put your right knee down on the ground. Tent your hands either side of your left foot, move your left foot at least a couple inches in front of the knee, and straighten your left leg. Just 2 breaths in your half splits. Flex your left toes skywards, squeeze an imaginary meter stick between your inner thighs. Inhale, shoot the heart forwards. Exhale, slide your left foot back those couple of inches, lower the sole of your foot, and inhale, maybe right toes tucked, maybe pointed. Sweep your arms out and up, low lunge. Zipper the top of your pelvis to your navel. Feel as though your arms actually start at your right inner knee. So roll the right inner thigh back. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, lift your back ribs high. Exhale, maybe let the hips sink a little bit. And this can feel really good or really intense. One of the two, maybe both, if you've been sitting a lot today like I have. Next, exhale, bring your hands down to the floor, straighten your back knee, and step to plank. Take a breath in, shift forwards. Exhale, lower partway or all the way, and you can always skip these. Inhale, either cobra or perhaps upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Press your heels towards the mat. Next inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Keep it square, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, step or help your right foot all the way through. Lower your left knee. Bring your right foot a couple inches ahead of the knee and straighten your right leg. Feel like your right heel and your left knee are trying to drag closer together on the mat. What does that do to your pelvis? Shoot your heart forwards. Next inhale, slide the right foot back. Lower the sole of your foot. Maybe point your toes, maybe not. And inhale, low lunge. Sweep your arms out and up. Zipper your top pelvis to your navel. Roll your left inner thigh back. And then keeping the pelvis upright, maybe then let your hips sink a little bit more. Each inhale, reach up, stretch up. Keep this out of the lower back. Exhale, hands down. Curl your back toes under. Look forwards. Step your left foot next to the right. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, fold. And rise. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. And hands to prayer. Inhale, reach your arms wide and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step your left foot back this time. Place your left palm down in line with your right instep. Straighten your left knee vigorously and reach your right arm straight out to the side, palm down. And then press your left shoulder blade into your left chest and use that to rotate your spine. Reach the right arm up. Now, could you hug the right outer hip back and in even more? Maybe start to look up over your hand. Left shoulder blade is out of the ear. Steady breath in. Exhale, right hand down, step to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower partway or all the way, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, either upward facing dog or cobra. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a slow breath out. And just notice just how much of a difference the breath can make, right? If there's even just one thing you have time for in the afternoon when you're feeling a little sleepy, often just a short little pranayama practice, even just a few rounds of ujjayi breath can be really powerful. With your next inhale, lift your left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step or help your left foot through. Level your right palm with your left instep, straighten your right knee, and take your left arm straight side, palm facing down. And then use your right shoulder blade pressing into the right chest to turn you open into a twist. So you're hugging your left outer hip back and in, and you're rolling your right inner thigh up to the ceiling. Maybe look up. Big breath in. Exhale, look down and bring your left hand down. And this time we'll step back into plank. And either move through your vinyasa, lowering as you exhale, or skip it and head straight to downward facing dog. Next inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forwards. At the bottom of your exhale, step or hop, feet to hands. Kind of fun, right? Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold all the breath out. And rise. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, and hands to prayer. Heel toe your feet together so that your big toes are touching and the sides of your feet are parallel. Bend your knees, sink your hips, reach your arms up and overhead, chair pose. It's just what I'm sure you were hoping to be doing in the afternoon. So sink the tops of your thighs down and back. Can that be how you go deeper in this pose? And then lift your back ribs up, lift your chest and arms up. Now hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh, prayer twist, palms together, push into your right hand even more than the left, aligning elbows and wrists on a straight line. Top thighs reach down and back, maybe even work your left thigh higher and higher, right thigh higher and higher up your left arm. Stay here or split your arms. Could you widen your left collarbone? Option to gaze up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, back to chair. You can do this. Stay with me. Exhale, twist the other way. Hook your right elbow outside of your left thigh. Connect your palms. Push into your left hand more than the right. Rotate your chest open. Keep working that leg higher and higher up towards the armpit. Stay here or maybe split the arms. Maybe look up. Widen your right collarbone. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, last breath. Chair pose, arms up. Exhale, stand. And hands to heart. So for this one, feel free to stand with your feet hips width and parallel. If you prefer for Parigasana, you can have your feet together for our standing side bend. Now, sides of the feet should be parallel. Inhale, reach your arms up. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. And as you inhale, pull your right wrist up. Exhale, tip your torso to your left side. Spin your left underarm forwards. Each inhale, lengthen the right side body. Exhale, lean. One more time, inhale. Exhale, lean. Inhale, come all the way up. Switch hands, pull your left arm up. Exhale, tip your torso to the right side. Maybe spin the right underarm forwards. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lean to the side. Feel your legs like pillars. One more breath. And inhale all the way back up, hands to heart. So I want us to get a balance pose in before we keep going. So we're actually going to stand on the left leg first for this one, and we're going to come into tree pose. One thing I want you to be extra mindful of is keeping your hip points, these little bony parts right at the front of your hips, facing straight forward. So we're not going to turn the leg out so much, right, that the pelvis rotates. So can we really keep that sort of at the front of our minds? I like to even put my hands here like little headlights. So stand on your left leg, firm your left leg, and bring your hands to your hips, maybe with your fingers reaching around towards your ASIS, these bony points. Come onto the ball of your right foot. And then turn your right leg out from the hip and see if you can really discern that you're not turning the pelvis. It's just a hip movement right at the right hip. And then left outer hip firms in. Feel free to keep your foot on the ground, heel resting against the ankle, maybe foot to shin. Maybe guide your foot all the way up to the inner thigh optionally. And then you press your foot and your leg into each other and take your hands together in front of your heart. And do you need to hug the left outer hip in? Do you need to even feel like the top of your right thigh is dropping towards the floor? Stay here or reach your arms out and up. You could stay in regular tree, find your drishti point, something unmoving, stare at it. If you want to, you could join me and take a little side bend. So for this variation, you interlace the hands overhead, index fingers out. You can also hook your thumbs. And then you inhale, lift your chest and arms up. Legs like pillars. Hug your left outer hip in and tip your body over towards your right side, towards the bent knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lean. Good. Falling is fine. Smile if you fall. Come back in. One more breath. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands to heart, right knee to chest, and step it down. And check it out. All right, so firm your right leg, hands to hips, come onto the ball of your left foot. And then turn your left leg out from the hip. Feel that it's just the left leg moving, not the pelvis turning. So for many of us, that means we will not get straight side, and that's fine. Can you be okay with your leg being at a diagonal? Maybe foot on the ground, maybe shin, maybe use your hand to guide the foot higher. Push your foot and leg together. Feel how that rebounding action really stabilizes your midsection. And then hands to heart. So even the lifted foot is really active, right? See how I'm even lifting my toes away from my thigh? Hug your standing hip in. You're still trying to externally rotate, right? The left leg is pushing back, but you're resisting it forward so we don't pull the pelvis out of alignment. Stay here or reach your arms up. Find your drishti point. Stay here or interlace your hands, index fingers out, maybe other thumb on top. I know it feels a little strange. And then join me for the side bend if you did on the first side. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, your leg is a pillar. Tip your torso over to the left. Woo. What needs to compensate to keep you up? Inhale, push foot into leg. Exhale, lean. One more time. Woo. Next inhale, come all the way up, palms together. And then left knee to chest, hands to heart, and step your foot down. Shake it out. All right, so you may choose to go to the wall. I want us to go upside down for just a little bit. You can also skip lifting your legs up. I'm going to talk you through dolphin and then possibly a forearm balance. If you have a headstand practice, or if you want to go to the wall or you don't need the wall, maybe kick up into a hold and handstand. We're just going to take several breaths in an inversion of your choice, and I'll talk you into dolphin. So yogi's choice, but if you're with me, inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Exhale, bow forwards. Now inhale, come halfway up. Step your feet back, lower your knees. If you're wearing a baggy shirt like I am, tuck it in. And then come down onto your elbows if you're with me and grab your biceps. Make sure your elbows are shoulders width. Feel free to either interlace the hands, or if you know that your shoulders feel a little more open today and your forearms feel good, forearms parallel, palms down. You could also use this opportunity to put a block between your palms like I'm showing you right now. All right, and then curl your toes under, step it back into forearm plank. Push the floor away from you, broaden your chest and broaden your upper back at the same time. And then walk your feet in to come into dolphin pose. So chest is pressing back towards the thighs, but you are knitting your rib cage in and back. So you're trying to even lift the back ribs up. Press your heels down towards the floor, and you have the option to stay here for about 5 to 8 more breaths. You could lift one leg up at a time. If you're at the wall and you're in a handstand, you might come down, take a break, kick up with the other leg. Make sure even if you're lifting your legs, maybe you start to lift up into your forearm balance, Pincha Mayurasana, or again, if you have a headstand practice, really any inversion of your choice. Take 5 breaths from here. Do you need to knit your bottom sternum to your navel? Roll your inner thighs back. You might even try separating the feet a little bit. Emphasize rolling the inner thighs back, and notice it's a little easier to access the lower belly when you do that. 2 more breaths. Make sure you're breathing. And in the next breath or two, no rush. Lower your feet. We're all going to step back to the mat. Meet me in forearm plank. 2 breaths. I know. Last breath. And onto your belly. Take a little rest here. Let's take what I call downward facing Shavasana. So stack your hands up, rest your forehead on the backs of your hands, and just pause for a brief moment. Give yourself a couple of moments here. Just remember to really honor however you're feeling today. I think one thing that I think we sort of learn when we practice yoga for, longer periods of time is just how much of our unhappiness comes from resistance, right? So when we kind of refuse to accept things the way that they currently are. So for example, I used to have a time when if I was really fatigued in the afternoon, I would try to do a really intense class just because I thought that's what I had to do, right? Like I just thought, no, my practice always looks this way, so this is how I practice. And what that does is you'll probably leave that practice even more tired. This, even from day to day, minute to minute, what you need from your yoga practice is going to change. And I think a lot of becoming a more, quote, advanced yoga practitioner is about not necessarily doing harder or more complex things, but having a deeper understanding of what you need in a given moment. I think that's kind of the real advanced asana. On that note, let's do just a little bit more back bending because that is kind of a nice way to wake up a little bit. Nothing too intense. So we'll start with Shalabhasana C, which we did earlier. So bring your feet and legs all the way together. Feel free to grab your strap for this. Reach your arms back. You can hook your thumbs, you can interlace your hands, or grab your strap. With your next inhale, lift your head and chest up, broaden your chest, shoulder heads back, straighten your arms, lift your straight legs up. Now, those of you that have an easy time clasping, even as you're pulling the knuckles up and back, could you imagine that you're trying to split your hands apart and feel the upper tips of the shoulder blades widen? Now, roll your inner thighs higher. Come on, give me your best lift all the way up. Lift. And then plop, come down. Unclasp your hands, turn your head to one side, and just wiggle a little bit side side. Now take your head to center. All right, one more thing here. Take your arms out. That's not true. 2 more things. Take your arms out into something like a goalpost or a cactus shape. So elbows should be straight side from your shoulders, palms down. Make a right angle at the elbows. Feet and legs together. Now lift your head and chest up, but tuck your chin to your chest and look down at your cheeks. Lift your straight legs up, spread the toes. Now lift your arms up. Inhale. With your exhale, try to squeeze your elbows together behind your back. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, squeeze the elbows together. Keep your chin tucked. Inhale, come back to goalpost or cactus. One more time, exhale, squeeze your elbows together. Inhale, goalpost. Exhale, lower. Turn your head the other way. Give your hips a little wiggle side side. Now bring your head back through center. And we're going to take 3 breaths in a high cobra. And we'll sort of work our way up progressively. So plant your feet down. Feet can be up to hips width. Push down into all of your toenails so much that your kneecaps even lift. Maybe walk the hands back a little more so they're almost, your forearms are nearly vertical. Now, spread the fingers, shoulder heads back. Inhale, start to lift your chest up. And think of going forwards to come up. So like you're going up and around a wheel. Each inhale, traction your hands back, reach your chest through the window of your arms. Are you evenly pressing the pubic bones down? Hug your elbows back. Last breath. Maybe open your mouth, stick your tongue out, lion's breath. And all the way down. Point your hands next to your chest. Inhale. Exhale, toes curl, push into plank. Take 3 breaths in plank. You can always do this one on your knees. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Notice what's shifted since the first down dog. Now, either come down onto your knees and swing your legs out, or maybe widen your hands, lift your heels, and jump through. Let's all meet sitting down. Now, from your seat, feel free to extend. You can either keep the bottom leg extended, or I'll show you the alternative. Start by stretching your right leg out straight, and step the sole of your left foot outside of your right knee. Now, if you'd like, you could lean to the side, bend your right knee, and take this heel outside of your left hip. If that causes one of your sitting bones to lift and you can't get it back down, just keep the leg extended. That's what I'm going to do. Now take your left fingertips behind your back, and if this is naturally happening, let your left hip walk back a little bit with you. Either right elbow wraps around the left knee, or you can hook the elbow to the outer thigh. As you inhale, push into your back fingertips, hug your left waist in, lift your chest. Exhale, keep the sole of your left foot grounded and roll your chest open into the left. Try to widen your right collarbone as you twist. And then again, you inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, turn your chest, maybe look over your shoulder. One more time. Now just move your gaze forwards and then come out of the twist and stretch your legs out into Dandasana. And second side, keep your left leg extended. Step your right foot outside of your left knee. Again, you can keep this leg where it is or bend your left knee and take your heel and frame your outer hip. Bring your right fingertips to the floor behind your back. Left elbow wraps or hooks to the thigh. Inhale, push into your right hand, lift your chest. Exhale, rotate your chest to the right. Maybe look back over your shoulder. Widen the left collarbone. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, turn. One more time. Now look forwards and come out of the twist and stretch your legs out. All right, now bring the soles of your feet together, knees out into a fairly wide diamond. So I don't want your heels too close to the ground, just a little bit of inner thigh opening before we close. Now, feel free to grab your strap. I want to offer one more chest opener. I do find for me when I'm tired, I tend to sit like this more. So I find that often stretching out the chest and even some of the intercostals with some of our side bends is just a nice way to wake up a little bit. So either hook your thumbs, interlace your hands, or do it the way you don't naturally do it, or grab your strap. Take an inhale, straighten your arms, lift your chest. Exhale, push the soles of your feet together, lead with the crown of your head and fold. And really think of lengthening your lower back. Or maybe even more than that, lengthen the front body so it's just as long as the back body, which is, easier said than done. You might rock your arms side to side. Again, those of you that have an easy time clasping, feel like you're trying to pull the hands apart without succeeding. And inhale, pull yourself part way up, let the hands go and just fold for a couple of breaths. Maybe hold the feet, maybe walk your arms forward. Inhale, coil yourself up. Good. And then find a comfortable seat. If you'd like to sit up on your block or something, that's fine. Feel free to cross the shins or sit on your heels. Rest your hands down on your knees or your thighs, sit up tall, and just close your eyes for a brief moment. So letting go of full Ujjayi breath here. Take 3 deep breaths and visualize the breath almost like an elevator traveling down from your throat all the way to the bowl of your pelvis as you inhale. And then as you exhale, visualize the breath massaging up from the bottom of your pelvis all the way up to your throat and out through the nose. Staying with that. Inhale, feel the breath move down, down, all along the length of your spine into the pelvis. Exhale, feel the breath massage all the way back up. Every vertebra. One more. Next inhale, join your palms together at your chest. Bow your head to your hands. And thank you so much for taking this time to share your practice with me today. And I do hope you have a slightly more awake, energized rest of your day. Enjoy your afternoon. Blink your eyes open. Namaste.